following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. All right, opening day banners are done. We're now into the meat of the 1985 baseball season. This week we bring you to Kansas City, Los Angeles, I think, and Chicago, although not necessarily in that order. So today you get a preview of the real-life American League Championship Series, the Toronto Blue Jays and the Kansas City Royals. The Royals won on opening day. It'll be Danny Jackson for the Royals and Doyle Alexander for the Blue Jays. On Friday or Thursday, no stream tomorrow, Thursday, it'll be Montreal and the Cubs from Wrigley Field in Chicago. And then I think I chose LA and San Francisco. I forget what I chose for the third game. But you get 3 games this week, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and that's what you're going to get pretty much every week along the line as we now get into the meat of the season. Opening day's done. It's just a cold Wednesday night in Kansas City. Let's do it. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 85 tonight from Royal Stadium in Kansas City. Actually, it's Independence, Missouri. It is the Kansas City Royals and the Toronto Blue Jays. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. So it'll be Danny Jackson, who went 14-12 for the Royals with an ERA of 3.42, 208 innings, 209 hits for the lefty rookie, 23 years old, 94 runs, 79 earned. He only gave up 7 homers. I mean, this ballpark is huge. Walked 76 and struck out 114. He's 23, as I said, a lefty, a fastball pitcher at 88, and a ground ball plus pitcher. And this will be the lineup he'll face. Damaso Garcia leads off for the Blue Jays. Lloyd Mosby in center will bat second. George Bell in left will go third. Jesse Barfield in right will bat fourth. Jeff Burrows is the DH, and you deserve a cookie if you can remember that he was a DH for the Toronto Blue Jays. Willie Upshaw at first will bat sixth. Buck Martinez behind the plate. One of the Orgs is at third. He'll bat eighth, and Tony Fernandez at short will bat ninth. Defensively for Kansas City, it'll be Darryl Motley. He's a 3 and a 4 in left. Willie Wilson is an 8 and an 8 in center. Pat Sheridan is a 5 and a 5 in right. George Brett, a 7 at third. Onyx Concepcion is an 8 at short. Frank White, not treated well by the Action PC baseball gods, only an 8 at second. And Steve Bye-Bye Balboni is a 5 at first. He will set the Royals franchise record for homers in a year with 36. That would last a long time. Jim Sundberg behind the plate. He's an 8 and a 9. And Danny Jackson on the mound is a 4. How you doing, Todd B. and JT Dutch? It's chilly. It was 0 this morning here in Burlington. Todd is so old that he remembers Jeff Burrows had a son who was a big prospect for the Padres at one time. That's true. Sean, wasn't it? So Garcia at 282, 8 homers, 65 RBI. Jackson should go about 110 pitches. And Garcia starts the ball game, a ground ball to Brett. That's an easy play, 1 out. And that's Garthorpe. I always got him confused with Dane. Dane's with the Cardinals, right? So this game has been patched, so hopefully the computer will not throw 190 pitches for their starters. Here's Mosby, Lloyd at 259, 18 homers, and 70 RBI. Z-Maniac and Tignet Promoter just followed us. We started the stream, so thanks for joining us. Pitch to Mosby. There's a base hit past a diving White. So the Blue Jays have their first hit. Here's George Bell. George at 275. 28 homers and 95 RBI. Dane was a Royal in 85. He got the winning hit in Game 6 of the World Series. Ah! That must have made for a complicated Thanksgiving. Pitch to Bell. George strikes out. An 0-2 check swing for strike 3. Zalapsky Smurf says Jeff Burrows was a bust as a DH for the Jays, so bad they later traded for Al Oliver and Cliff Johnson. He was the last out for Phil Necro's 300th win, which came on the last day of the season. Jesse Barfield, 289, 27 homers, 84 RBI. 2 out, runner on first. Barfield swings into left field. Motley will come in, and that will retire the side. Jays get a hit, leave them on. No runs, a hit, no errors. Half an inning in the books. No score. So it'll be Doyle Alexander for the Blue Jays. 17-10 for Toronto, a 3.45 ERA. 36 starts, 260 and 2/3 innings, 268 hits. Gave up 105 runs, 100 were earned, 28 homers, 67 walks, 142 strikeouts. Fastball pitcher at 84 and a ground ball pitcher. And Doyle, towards the end of his career, 35 years old. Would see success for the Blue Jays this year and success for the Tigers down the stretch in 87. Here's the Kansas City lineup. Willie Wilson is in center field. He'll lead off. Pat Sheridan in right will bat second. George Brett at third will bat third. George Orta will be the DH. He cleans up. Steve Balboni at first will bat fifth. Darryl Motley in left field. He'll go sixth. Frank White will bat seventh and play second. Jim Sundberg catches and goes eighth. And Onyx Concepcion, the shortstop, will bat ninth. Danny Jackson threw 18 pitches in his half of the first. Defensively for Toronto, it'll be George Bell, a 5 and a 5 in left. Lloyd Mosby, a 5 and a 4 in center. And Jesse Barfield, an 8 and a 10 in right. Dane Org is a 3. I got that one wrong again, didn't I? It's Garth. Party on, Garth. Is a 3 at third. Tony Fernandez, an 8 at short. Damaso Garcia, a 4 at second. Willie Upshaw, a 6 at first. Buck Martinez, a 4 and a 4 behind the plate. And Alexander is a 7 with a 984 fielding percentage. Of the Jays' DHs, Burrows actually had the best season in 85, according to JT Dutch. Oliver and Johnson did not hit well with Toronto that year. Wilson at 278, 4 homers and 43 RBI. Will swing away, and he hits a base hit into right center field. Willie will round first. Don't ask me what his stealing chances are. It's blocked. So that'll bring up Pat Sheridan. 228, 3 homers and 17 RBI. Throw to first, Willie back. Pitch to Sheridan. Pat hits a ground ball to Upshaw. He'll just take it to the bag himself. Wilson will go to second. And there's 1 out. Here's Brett. George at 335, 30 homers and 112 RBI. The Blue Jays had all 3 on the roster in the ALCS. Imagine a modern roster with 3 DHs. Well, I would call that the Red Sox circa 2000, but you're right. Of course, the Red Sox tried to bury them in the field. If anybody remembers the Jose Offerman at first story. So Wilson is going to go. And he got a good jump. The throw down to Org. Safe. 80% chance to steal third. You're going to take it. So an 0-1 count to Brett. And Wilson on third. Pitch to George is a fly ball to right. Barfield in the corner. Should be deep enough. Jesse makes the catch in foul territory. Wilson will go. Barfield's got a great arm out there, and he is safe. So 1-0 Kansas City. Wilson scored, standing up. Barfield does indeed have a cannon. Here's Orta, George, at 267, 4 homers and 45 RBI. 2 out, bottom of the first. 1-0 Kansas City. There's a base hit into right field. Barfield chucks it to second, but Orta has a second double of the year. And now bring up Balboni. Steve at 243. The aforementioned 36 homers and 88 RBI. He struck out 166 times. Speaking of DHs, as Todd is going into band territory with us. Speaking of Red Sox DHs, who wins an eating contest between Sam Horn, David Ortiz, and Mo Vaughn? JT would go with Horn. I'm thinking Vaughn. Sam Horn, of course, a cult hero in New England. Pitch to Balboni. Steve strikes out. First for Alexander. But the Royals get a run. George Brett brought home Willie Wilson, and after 1 inning, a run, 2 hits, and no errors. It's Kansas City 1, Toronto 0. So here comes Jeff Burrows, Willie Upshaw, and Buck Martinez. Jeff at 257, 6 homers and 28 home runs. Bye-bye Balboni. Either a member of the New Kids on the Block, NSYNC, or the Backstreet Boys. So either robbed Deere of his day. The ball went bye-bye or he went bye-bye. Speaking of eating, there you go. Pitch to Burrows. Ball 4. That's right, Ortiz, played by Keenan. Hilarious. Bofu. Yeah. And of course, Keenan lost all that weight, and then Ortiz was shot and lost a bunch of weight. Yeah, but that was a great character. Willie Upshaw, 275, 15 homers and 65 RBI. Struck him out. That's 2 for Jackson. He got him on an 0-2 fastball at the belt. And then I'll bring up Buck Martinez. 162, 4 homers, and 14 RBI. I hear Buck has a magnificent future as a broadcaster. Gets away from Sundberg, and Burrows will go to second. Burrows probably best remembered for his time in Texas. But didn't he come up with the Braves? Count is 3-1. JT says, no surprise to see Burrows walking at the best eye on the Jays that year. 3-1, ground ball up the middle. White by the bag at second, over to first to get Buck. And Burrows goes to third. So here's Garth. Party on, Garth. He had a really nice year for Atlanta 1 year. 78 he was there, right? Garth, 313, 7 homers, 37 RBI. Tony Fernandez on deck. 2 out. Top of the second, 1-0 Kansas City. Ball 4. Runners on first and second for Tony Fernandez. 289, 10 triples, 2 homers, and 51 RBI. Burrows came up with the Senators, drafted out of Millikan High School in Long Beach, where JT's Dutch mom went. Same time or no? Speculation is that Buck may be looking for a new gig. He's not the best play-by-play guy in the world, and you got Dan Schulman, who does Blue Jay games. But Buck's color is, I think, above average. Pitch to Fernandez. Tony hits a line drive down the line and left. Motley will go field that one. Burrows scores. Fernandez goes into second. Ord will score, and the Blue Jays go up 2-1. He went to his dad's high school, your dad's high school, Wilson High in Long Beach. So I'll ask the same question. Same time? Garcia is 0 for 1 and 2 for 6 on the year with a strikeout. Opening 9 for Jackson, 41 pitches, an inning and 2/3, 2 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. The pitch to Garcia, ground ball to Brett. George goes across the way, and that will retire the side. But Toronto gets 2 runs on the 1 hit, no errors. They leave a runner on. We go to the bottom of the second, 2-1 Jays. So it'll be Darryl Motley, Frank White, and Jim Sundberg to face Alexander here in the second. My dad graduated from high school in '68 as well. Shulman makes everybody sound better. Absolutely. Which is why if I watch baseball on ESPN, it's muted. Motley. Here's a ground ball up the middle. Fernandez on the dirt over to first for the out. Brings up White. Frank, 249, 22 homers. 69 RBI. I think he did go first overall. I had to do a slideshow when I was at Fansided, ranking all the top picks in the draft, and I believe I did a slide on Jeff Burrows. Pitch to White is a base hit left field. Bell will pick it up, and White will tease but hold it first. Brings up Sundberg. Jim, 245, 10 homers, 35 RBI in 85. Alexander will work from the stretch with 1 out. There's a ground ball to Tony. Fernandez might get 2. Garcia for 1. Upshaw for 2. So they turn it 6-4-3. We go to the third here in Kansas City. It's the Blue Jays 2, the Royals 1. Todd B. is still sitting on Sean Abner rookie cards. Don't let your dog find him. It'll be Mosby, Bell, and Barfield. Lloyd singled his first time up. Now 3 for 5 on the young season with a double. Jackson starts the third. Strike 3. Fastball on the inside corner. 1 out. Here's Bell. George struck out his first time up. 2 for 5 on the year. He has singled twice. Ground ball, base hit left side. Got past Concepcion. So the third hit for Toronto. Jesse Barfield, the batter. Jesse now 1 for 4 on the year. He had a double in their opening day loss. Pitch to Barfield, ball 4. So the third walk from Jackson. I mean, a bullpen game. He's at 64 pitches. Here's Burrows. Burrows in 191 at-bats had 34 walks, including 1 to start the ball game. He scored. He's 0 for 3 on the year. Hoping to cash in on Sid Finch if ESPN does a 30 for 30 retro piece. Brilliant stuff by George Plimpton. Finch didn't really get a Topps rated card, did he, from 85? Pitch to Burrows. There's a little chopper. Jackson off the mound. White for 1. And Balboni maybe for 2. Yes. How about that? 1, 4, 3 on the double play. I think that's new in the game. No runs, a hit, and no errors. Bottom of the third now. 2-1 Toronto. No, Burrows was ineffective, I think, from what they're saying. Concepcion's an 8. In fact, he's going to bat now. 204. 2 homers, 20 RBI. A Finch rookie card, wouldn't it? I'm sure someone photoshopped one or whatever the equivalent was. Ground ball to Alexander, and he runs and underhands it to Upshaw for the out. So 1 away for Doyle. Opening 9, 27 pitches, 2 1/3 innings, 3 hits, and a strikeout. Wilson 3 for 5 now on the year. Singled, scored, and stole his first base. That came in the first. Little chopper Garcia comes in to throw to first. Willie is out on the bang-banger. So 2 out for Sheridan. Pat now 1 for 4 on the year with 2 RBI. He was platooned. That's right. I do, from the Washington Nationals. I have my own rookie card. Not many 48-year-olds get their own rookie card. Pitch to Sheridan. Pat swings. He'll chop her down to third or goes across the way, and Sheridan is safe. He beat it out. A bang-banger, and Sheridan just kind of legged it out for Brett, who was 1 for 2 on the year. With a double and an RBI, he has walked 3 times. Pitch to George is a line drive, base hit, right center. Sheridan will round second. Mosby picks it up. Brett's in with a double. Sheridan will score. And we're tied at 2. We talked about Alexander in the 87 Tigers earlier. How old John Smoltz would have been? The date on this is April 10th, 1985. Alexander was 35, I think. Should make a hockey card for Dave. The lefty side of the Jays DH platoon was Len Matuszek. Oof. I remember that because the Dodgers traded Al Oliver to get Matuszek. Double oof. Order 2 for 6 on the year, 2 doubles, 2 RBI, 1 for 1 today. Slow roller to Garcia, throws to first for the out, and that will retire the side. But the Royals tie the ball game, a run on 2 hits and no errors. They leave a runner on to go the 4th, 2-2. So Upshaw, Martinez, and Garth here in the 4th. Willie, 0 for 1, struck out, now 1 for 5 on the year, but had 2 RBI on opening day. To short, Concepcion over to first. That's really slow for the out. Yeah, I think Oliver deserves some Hall of Fame love. So Buck Martinez, 1 for 5 with a double, 0 for 1 today. Jackson deals. Into left, Motley in the corner, and somebody from Kansas City, Kansas makes that catch. Len Matuszek was great in the Goonies. Wait, that's the wrong Matuszek. There's a fly ball to right. Sheridan goes over in the corner to make the catch. 2 out for Garth. Garth, 1 for 4 on the year. That run you see is from the 2nd inning today. So Jackson settling down here in the 4th. Garth into right field. Sheridan waits for it to come, and it does. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning, 2-2. I suppose if you're a big haul guy, Oliver could qualify to get in. Yeah, JT, I wouldn't put him in, but there is a case to be made. Matuszek was a beast for the Raiders, too. Different Matuszek, but yes, you're right. Balboni, 1 for 5 on the year. He has struck out twice, but did have a solo home run yesterday. Today, he struck out his first time up. Steve laces that one into left field for a single. Is he going to try for 2? No. 6th hit for the Royals. Here's Motley. Darryl, 0 for 1. today, 0 for 5 on the year. Ground ball to first. Upshot takes it to the bag himself for the out. Balboni moves to second. Brings up White. Frank is 1 for 1. 2 for 5 on the year. Doubled opening day. The hit today's a single. Alexander deals. White into center field. Mosby trots over to right center. And that will be the catch. Balboni will tag and no. Oh, no. Nope. Not running out of an inning. Here's Sundberg. Jim, 0 for 1 today. Grounded into a double play. Should have led Balboni to second with a sub sandwich. Yeah, he was a bulky boy. He was bulky with the Yankees, too. 2 out. Sundberg hits a ground ball base hit past Garcia. That's a single. Balboni will round third, and he's not going to run on Barfield. No, sir. You play station to station on Jesse. And that howitzer he has out and right. Here's Concepcion. 2 for 4 on the year, 0 for 1 today. Elvis prefers Ebbets Field to Royal Stadium. I think for the AstroTurf era of parks, this was the nicest one. Aptly named, looked like a Balboni. Yes, he did, John. Yes, he did. Runners on first and third. Concepcion to Org. Long way cross, and that will retire the side. The Royals will strand 2. They had no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. We go to the 5th. It's 2-2. So Tony Fernandez went 0 for 4 on opening day. 1 for 1 today, a double. And he drove in 2. As Danny Jackson starts the 5th. There were, if you see where the billboards are out in the outfield, those were all fountains. If Ebbets had a fountain, somebody had too much to drink. Fernandez into right field. Back goes Sheridan. Pat's going to chase this one. That's off the wall. Tony's going to have 2 at least. He's probably going for 3. He is. The throw to third, and Tony's got himself a triple. So a leadoff triple to start the 5th. Danny Jackson, 18 batters, 78 pitches, 4+ innings, 4 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Your Royals did have some great names. Buddy Biancalana, Onyx Concepcion, Steve Balboni, Darryl Motley. I'm not sure if UL Washington is still with the team at this point, but he played with a toothpick in his mouth, and every time they were on Game of the Week, Joe Garagiola would remind us that he's an adult. He can do that. You can't do that, kids. Garcia is 0 for 2. To second, White. Fernandez will score, and they retire Damaso at first. Washington's given name was really UL. I did know that. So 1 out, nobody on for Mosby. 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out. Too much like a cookie cutter. Are we watching baseball or Niagara Falls? For its era, I think it was the nicest stadium built in the 70s. Pitch to Mosby. Lloyd strikes out. He swung on and missed the curve. 2 out for Bell. George is 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out. This time around, up the middle, past White for a single. They've done a couple renovation jobs here, and the stadium still looks nice, although the Royals, I'm not sure when the lease is up, would like to move back into downtown Kansas City. Yep. It is what it is, and we can't change it. Barfield 0 for 1 with a walk. UL was in Montreal. They might see him on Thursday then. The Olympic track that served as a warning track in Montreal. Yes, I do. Place did seat 64,000, though. Pitch to Barfield. Lost him. So Jackson to that. Bell on second. Barfield on first. Burrows at the plate. This was the only one, Zalapsky Smurf, that I think was baseball only as an AstroTurf stadium. Yes. Arrowhead, of course, next door, and that was AstroTurf. But the other ones, all the cookie cutters, and they all looked like they had the carpet your grandmother would have installed. Sundberg and Jackson go out there and have a conversation. Danny's pitch. Burrows. That's going to be flared into right center. That should score, Bell. It will score, Bell. Wilson throws it back in the infield. And it's now 4-2 Toronto with 2 out. If you were to do a blueprint of how not to build a stadium, Olympic Stadium would have been the one there. Funny thing about Royal Stadium, JT Judge says, the bond issue to build it was passed while the A's were in Kansas City. Can you imagine the A's playing there? They'd still be there. You'd have an A instead of a crown for that scoreboard. It would look like Anaheim. But you're right. All those hot days in July, not a lot of shadow there. We've talked about this before. Upshaw 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Runners on first and second. Danny Jackson will probably not go much further. Pitch to Upshaw is a ground ball to Balboni. He'll take it to the bag himself for the out. So, stretch time here not stretch time, it's commercial time here. Halfway home, 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Blue Jays go up 4-2. Join us late. Here's how we got here. The Royals struck first. George Brett, a fly ball, sac fly to make it 1-1. Toronto in the second. Tony Fernandez a 2-run double to give the Jays a 2-1 lead. George Brett would double home Pat Sheridan in the third to make it 2-2. And then Garcia with a ground ball to make it 3-2 Toronto. Yes, we know. We're waiting. Jeff Burrows singled home George Bell to make it 4-2. Doyle Alexander, 7 hits through 4 and 2 runs. Danny Jackson, his day's probably close to done. 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs. Walked 4 and struck out 4. You know what? I bet the Kaufmans would have bought that regardless. I'm not sure how committed Finley was ever to Kansas City. I mean, he tried to move out of Oakland 9,000 times. So I bet it still ends up as Kauffman Stadium. Finley would have expanded the foul areas. And no, Olympic exhibition, and I believe the Astrodome after a while did not have steps, which I always thought was cool. Tribe Fan and Todd B are talking to each other, which guarantees that they are not the same person. Willie Wilson is 1 for 2. He has singled, stolen a base, and scored. Alexander is opening 18 on 64 pitches. 4 innings, 7 hits, and a strikeout. So you're saying the Browns played like their color last night, huh? Wilson, this time around, ground ball to third. Garth across the way, 1 out. Here's Sheridan, Pat 1 for 2. He has singled and scored. Tribe fan has not found the Chargers game very fun. I had wished, although I think the move to Los Angeles was one of the best things to ever happen for baseball, that they would have been allowed to have built the dome for where the Nets play now, the Barclays Center. They were years ahead of their time and looking for that. It would have been curious to see in the late 50s. How you doing, Al? Thanks for the sub. If you had opened up in a dome in 59 or 60, and how soon they would have developed out. Would it have been called Dodger Turf? Elvis is playing some Fall Classic. What you playing? Pitch to Sheridan is 1 for 2. There's a small little number. Garcia on the infield turf gets the out. 2 out for George Brett, who's got himself a double, a hit, and 2 RBI. Brett into right field. Going back is Barfield. Jesse will ride that one down. 59 replay for Elvis for the Braves, and Milwaukee is 1-5. Of course, in real life, they would play a 3-game playoff against the Dodgers. Buck Martinez is 0 for 2. Jackson might be tired. Okay, well, let's see. Jackson might be tired. Righty, switchy. So Joe Beckwith will come in. The cat just tried to type. Only 2 games needed. So we know who won them both. Beckwith, 30 years old, a fastball pitcher and a standard pitcher. He's already got numbers, so 1-5 on the real year. His last time out against the Blue... Oh, they show the score now and his pitch count. That's new. I hadn't seen that before. Last time out, yesterday, he went inning and a third, and their 6-4 win through 29 pitches. 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, and 2 strikeouts. Your 80 Indians are in first place at 17-12 in your Wonder Years project. The Joe Charbonneau year. That's pretty good. That's new. I hadn't seen that before. Again, these are some of the reasons why you got to play some of these games to get a good impression of what's changed. That's great. Martinez is 0 for 2. But in the center, Willie Wilson, 1 out. Garth Org, 1 for 5 on the year, 0 for 1, a walk and a run scored. Struck him out. Beckwith got him on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, 2 away. Fernandez, 2 for 2. He's doubled and tripled and driven in 2. Jays up 4-2, top the 6th. Tony needs a homer for the cycle now as he's got himself a single. Little ground ball in the right field. 7th hit for the Jays. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors. They've left on 5. Kansas City, 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors. They've left on 4. I think Bobby Cox would have subbed Orgott for Mullenix there. Computers still what the computers do. I was surprised to see him stay in. Here's Garcia. He's 0 for 3. with an RBI. Super Joe opens all my beers by twisting off the tops with his eye socket. Oh! Oh, you got a church key that's Joe Charbonneau? Oh, man. Ow. There's a base hit in the right field. So Fernandez will hold at second. How many pitches is Beckwith good for? 35, okay. Mosby 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out twice. Oh, I forgot he did that for real. Yeah, that's... Ow. Ow. Mosby swings a ground ball up the middle. White, only play is to first. Balboni will get it. And that will retire the side. No runs, 2 hits. They leave on to bottom of the 6th, 4-2 Toronto. So Orta, Balboni, and Motley. Orta 1 for 2 with a double. Yeah, my eyes are my window to the world. Orta into right center field. That's going to get down by the wall. Barfield got there. I'm not sure if it was Mosby or Barfield that should have had it, but someone out there wasn't paying much attention, and the tying run is Balboni. 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout. There's a base hit in the left field. Bell will pick it up. Orta will hold at third. Runners on the corners for Darryl Motley, who's 0 for 2. Yes, Ron waxing poetic. Things you won't see on a Fortnite stream. Semi-adult child of friend of mine streams on Twitch. His mom used to take care of me. And so when I went to like his channel, I learned, much to my chagrin, he's a Fortnite streamer. Pitch to Motley. Runners on the corners. Into right field. That should score Orta. Barfield going back there. Makes the catch. Balboni goes back to first. Orta will tag, and it's 4-3. White 1 for 2 with a single. Run venturing into the darkness. That Orta score Orta. And it does. Pitch to White. Frank, ground ball to short. Fernandez, Garcia, Upshaw. 6-4-3, and the threat is retired. A run on 2 hits and no errors. They leave a runner on. We go to the 7th, 4-3 Toronto. So Bell, Barfield, and Burrows to face Beckwith. George is 2 for 3. He has singled twice, struck out, and scored. Line drive, foul, third base side. It sounds like a law firm indeed. Bell, Barfield, Burrows, and Beckwith. 1-800-555-2222. The 1 and 2 from Beckwith. That's a base hit in the right field. So Sheridan is there. It's too early for Quisenberry. Barfield has walked twice and is 0 for 1. Jesse strikes out. He swung on and missed a 94-mile-an-hour fastball on a 2-2 count. 1 out for Burrows. See what the computer does here. Jeff is 1 for 2. He hits righties at a 229 clip. Has a single, an RBI, a walk, and a run scored. Do you think we'll ever see another Submariner pitcher? If you're effective, sure. They were always scary to watch because you, especially like Terry Leach, who almost would drag his knuckles on the mound. Burrows into center. Wilson rides the Schwinn, makes the catch. Bell retreats without a throw. 2 out for Upshaw. Willie is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Pitch for the Mets and the Twins, amongst others. I'm surprised more pitchers haven't tried to throw with both hands. or both arms, such as Greg Harris. How about a knuckleballer? Problem is, you'd have to find a catcher who could learn to catch it. The last two classic knuckleballers, Tim Wakefield and R.A. Dickey, weren't the traditional ones in the sense where they could throw 160 pitches and not have to worry about wear and tear. And you wouldn't trust a reliever to throw a knuckleballer because you don't know what you're going to get. Pitch to Upshaw. Willie hits a ground ball to Concepcion. Onyx takes it to the bag himself, and that is stretch time. 4-3 Blue Jays. Elvis says, and yet Hoyt Wilhelm was a great reliever for his day, and he absolutely was. Not really even a starter, but in those days you could get him to go 4 innings 2 or 3 times a week. Today, because they throw so hard and you don't know where it's going to go. I mean, I'm not sure I'd train a knuckleball pitcher to throw 1 inning. And of course, Wilhelm is, again, he could throw you 90 pitches 2 or 3 times a week. Wakefield was not that kind of knuckleballer, and I don't think R.A. Dickey was. Could you imagine a fireballer with a knuckleballer? I would have loved to have seen Clemens or Pedro or one of those just try it once, just to pull it. It would just startle the ever-loving snot right out of you to do it. But again, the way the analytics is, for better or for worse, you just wouldn't trust it. So the knuckleballer is sadly going away, the barefoot kicker. I don't think anyone misses barefoot kickers. Pedro did have that nasty change. So the problem with Dickey as a Jays fan, Zalapsky Smurf says, was that he was average at best, but he also needed his own catcher, who was as good as a major league hitter as Zalapsky is. That's true. And the other thing is, yeah, I mean, that's DJ John. Hope you're feeling better. Or the soggy West Coast. I mean, Al remembers the Red Sox game where they had to give Doug Mirabelli a state police escort to get to the stadium to catch after he'd been released. Last year I saw a position player come in a mop-up role and he never broke 60. He was throwing fastballs too. And you got those guys popping up on the infield. One of the funniest things I've ever seen was Anthony Rizzo striking out Freddie Freeman. Sundberg 1 for 2, by the way. There's a ground ball to first, Upshot by himself, and that's an out. And that's Bob Euchre explains it, I think, very well, Todd B. The way to catch a knuckleball is to wait till it stops rolling, then pick it up. So JT Dutch, I believe, is in the southern half of California. It stopped raining there. It's now 21 here in Burlington. It was 0 this morning. Concepcion is 0 for 2. Alexander's pitch. Onyx. Little ground ball is short to his cross compatriot. And Fernandez throws him out. Here's Willie Wilson. Willie 1 for 3. Alexander, his first 27, 6 2/3 innings, 101 pitches. 9 hits and a strikeout, and 3 earned runs. Wilson 1 for 3. He has scored, singled, and stolen a base. Were Davey and Onyx related? You see, I would have asked you that one, because you know a lot more about that. I don't know. Someone will know. Were the Concepcions, Davey, and Onyx related? Pitch to Willie is a fly ball center field. Mosby will come in to make the catch. We go to the 8th. No runs, no hits, no errors. That'll be the night for Beckwith. It's 4-3 Toronto. JT doesn't believe so. Yeah, we had a good one yesterday. We interviewed the Matt McKeever, speaking of Brooklyn, and his buddy, and I'm forgetting his name. We did an interview with the creators of Pocket Pennant Run Baseball. Quiz through some pitches already this year. 8-9, 37 saves, a 2.37 ERA. Quiz pitched Monday against the Jays. Inning and 2/3, 25 pitches, 3 hits. Fastball pitcher at 83. Speaking of that, ground ball plus pitcher, and he's a submariner. No relation for Onyx and Dave. I was surprised. We'll see what actually, Martinez has the advantage here. Buck is 0 for 3. For $10, you can't beat it, John. I was surprised to see that Sal and Chris Bando were brothers. I always thought it was father and son, but they are indeed brothers. Pitch to Martinez is a little looper into left field. That's going to drop in front of Motley. And the Blue Jays are going to try to make some noise here in the 8th. Manny Lee will pinch hit or pinch run. Manny is a 7 speed. Sal the much better hitter for sure. Org, let's see what he will. He's actually averages pretty good. He's 0 for 2. Scored, walked, and struck out, and Lee just kind of laughs as I throw over. Field day baseball from ASG Games. I haven't played that one. That's a pegboard game, isn't it? Pitch to Org is a liner in the left, and that'll drop in front of Motley. Mr. Quisenberry's not having himself a good evening. 50 degrees now here in Independence. Wind blowing in from right center at 6. There is a big age difference between Sal and Chris Bando, which is why we were surprised that they were brothers. Tony Fernandez needs a home run for the cycle, by the way. He's 3 for 3. Oh, that's another one of Greg Sauvan's games. Yep. Greg is a master of games. He's put out some good ones over the year. Fall Classic is his. I believe now season ticket baseball plays Clay Dreslock's game. We didn't talk to him about that. We talked to him about the mogul ones. Now, I believe every season from 75 through 21 is now released. Yeah, Anthony from Bleacher Bums is showcasing it along with Kurt. Safe journeys on your vacation there, Kurt. Pitch to Tony. No home run. Ground ball to second. White. Concepcion for 1. Back to Balboni. I think Tony beat it out. Yes, he did. So runners on the corners. 1 out for Garcia. Damaso 1 for 4. A single and an RBI. It's okay if you slur your words. It's absolutely fine. Allegedly, the Washington football team's new name will be announced February 2nd. So not only will the shenanigans of Groundhog Day happen, then the worst name in sports will die as well. How do you know? The Red Hogs. I would like the Red Hogs. I would be the Russets. Just be potatoes. Runners on the corners. Garcia to short. Concepcion will try for 2. White for 1. Balboni for 2. And so the Blue Jays will not score here in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 4-3 Toronto. I like Red Hogs. See John Reagan's running around on a motorcycle on opening day. Pat Sheridan is 1 for 3. He has singled and scored. They made a point of saying it's not Wolves or Red Wolves. Brett in order to face Alexander. Now, I have the new patch in here, so I should not have to go get Doyle. Someone else has those rights. For Washington Wolves or Washington Red Wolves? The Washington Red Tapes. There you go. How appropriate. The Jays order brings in a left. Let's see what they do. They're lefty, lefty, lefty this inning for Alexander. Sheridan strikes out. So he swung on and missed the 0-2 curve. Here's Brett. George 1 for 2. A double and 2 RBI. 4-3 Toronto. 1 out, bottom of the 8th. Chopper up the middle. Garcia behind the bag. 2 out. And they will bring in a reliever. It'll be Bill Caudell. Bill making his first appearance of 1985. 4-6 with the Jays. 14 saves. An ERA of 2.99. In 67 games, he went 69 1/3 innings. Allowed 53 hits. 26 runs, 23 earned. Cuffs allowed 9 homers, 35 walks, and 46 strikeouts. 29 years old, a fastball pitcher at 93 and a standard pitcher. So 2 out, nobody on to face Orta. George is 2 for 3. He has doubled twice. Warriors, yep, you could go old school with a logo and sometime a WW. Todd B is still bitter about Bill Caudell. I'm not sure they would do anything, though, Midlife Crisis with a Native American motif. Warriors would be a good name. Would be able to, for us to, a few of the older helmet emblems, if they had a pair to go right back to. Next year they can wear 2 different styles of helmets. Pitch to Orta. Ground ball up the middle. Garcia in front of the dirt. Over to first for the out. I like that. The Washington Mudrakers. Absolutely. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 9th, 4-3 Toronto. No, Washington, I mean, their logo looks like Dave Cook's logo for them, okay? Dave should get all sorts of NFL royalties for creating the logo for the Washington football team. I like Red Hogs. Mosby 1 for 4. Yeah, Dave should sue them. I agree, Al. Mosby 1 for 4. He has struck out twice. Quisenberry doesn't look real sharp. Mosby in the center. Wilson will make the catch. Defensively, Ernie Witt is now in the ball game for Toronto. I like the name Bullets. You can get some red, white, and blue out of there. Tain't happening, McGee. Yep. George Bell is 3 for 4. He has singled 3 times, scored, and struck out. Struck him out. He swings and misses on a change. 2 out for Barfield, who was 0 for 2. He has walked twice and struck out. There's a base hit into left field. Motley will pick it up off the turf. And Barfield will hold with a single. 2 out for Burrows. I wonder if they'll pinch it here. Washington Slugs? Yeah. Washington Swamp Rats. The Potomacs? I like that name. Burrows 1 for 3. We'll see if they pinch it. Yep, Rance Mullenix will pinch it. Rance had an opening day double in RBI. 295, 10 homers, and 57 RBI. Barfield on first, 2 out. It'll be Balboni, Motley, and White for Kansas City in the ninth. Mullenix. Little chopper down to third. Brett goes across the way, and Rance is out. They got him on the bang-banger. The Freebirds. You could play it every halftime with the band, right? 90,000 people with their cell phone flashlights going on, swinging back and forth. You see all those lobbyists on K Street going to the games on Sunday singing, "I'm as free as a bird now." Yeah, there you go. It'll be Balboni, Motley, and White. Steve is 2 for 3. He has singled twice and struck out. Caudell's pitch. In the center field, Mosby will track that one down. 1 out. Motley 0 for 2 with an RBI. Meanwhile, in Milwaukee, Sponny just gave up a 2-run dinger. In the third, it's the Reds 2, the Braves nothing. The Washington politicians. Then Hal could sue. Imagine all the publicity for Stratomatic if they sued. Pitch to Motley. Got away from Witt, who's a 6 with a 3 arm, throws it down to first, and we're down to brass tacks. Last chance saloon for Frank White. 1 for 3 with a single. Caudell is 1 out away from a save. 4 runs, 12 hits, no errors for the Jays. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Royals. Toronto's left on 10, Kansas City 4. Ground ball to the pitcher, over to Upshaw. And that'll do it. That'll do it. The Blue Jays win 4-3. Don't be practical, Tribe fan. So, as we said, 4 runs, 12 hits, no errors, 10 left on for the Jays. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors, 4 left on for Kansas City. Tony Fernandez is going to be your Digital Dice MVP. Have a good day, Al. 3 for 4, a triple, a double, a single, and 2 RBI. Alexander, 7 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs all earned. He struck out 2. 111 pitches. He'll be fine. There's some things that are presented differently, John. And I think the patch that's about to come out officially updates the AI a bit. Again, with Dave's games, they're very subtle. I like it. You look in the game logs, and now for the pitchers, it'll tell you who won the game and how many pitches they threw. So, yeah, I mean, it gives you more smarter information. Some new stats I saw. So far, I really can't complain about how it plays. I thought last year's game was really good. Danny Jackson takes a loss, 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs all earned. He walked 4 and struck out 4. Steve Barkin, the defense minister. Long Island softball god. Beckwith and Quisenberry give up 6 hits over 4, but none cross the plate. And so that's that for that. And the Blue Jays fall a half game behind the front-running Cleveland Indians. Remember, if the Indians win the American League East and they're still undefeated, JT Dutch will buy as many subs as the Indians have wins. Rest of the day in baseball, the Red Sox beat the Yankees 4-2. Bruce Hurst gets the win 1-0. Ed Whitson, one of the bigger disappointments in Yankee history, takes a loss. Jim Rice, 2 homers and 2 RBI. He goes 2 for 4. Yay! Todd B goes back to work. Montreal beats the Reds 4-2. Gullickson 1-0. Tibbs takes the loss. Burke with the save. Detroit beats Cleveland 5-2. Dan Petrie. The dish goes to 1-0. Vern Rule goes to 0-1. And Willie Hernandez gets the save. O's beat the Rangers 4-3. Don Osse 1-0. Greg Harris 0-1. Toby Harrah 3-for-4 with a double. The Astros beat the Dodgers 7-6. Dodgers start the season 0-2. Frank DiPino 1-0. Steve Howe 0-1. Phil Garner 2-for-3 with the triple. The Giants start 2-0. They beat the Padres 4-0. Dave LaPointe of Glens Falls, New York 1-0. Eric Schau takes the last. Dan Gladden 4-for-4 with a stolen base. Seattle in 12 beats Oakland 6-4. Salome Barojas gets a win. Keith Atherton the loss. Terry Collins 2-for-4. Mets might want to use him for a manager someday. Twins walk 10 but beat the Angels 5-4. Ken Schramm gets the win. Jeff Zahn the loss. Tom Bernansky 2-for-3. A homer, his second, and a double. And, that's Dave Collins. Ha 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 ha. Oopsie. And there you go. So our game on Thursday at noon is Montreal and the Cubs. I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you the next time.